Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, for 1 year as we read through St. Faustina's diary. Join me, Amy Thomas, each day for a short reading out of the diary which brought us a deeper understanding of Christ's divine mercy. Well, it is that time, Catholic pilgrims. It is day 114, and it's time for our readings from St. Faustina's diary. I'm curious how many of you listen in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. I know when I get up in the morning here in Turkey, I can see that a lot of you have listened in the evening, but I'm just curious if it's something you start your day with or something you end your day with, or if you listen to it during the kids' nap times. I usually record this around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon after school is done. So I'm just wondering. But our readings today are from Notebook 1, numbers 492 through 497. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Krakow, October 20th, 1935, 8-day retreat. Eternal God, goodness itself, whose mercy is incomprehensible to every intellect, whether human or angelic, help me, your feeble child, to do your holy will, as you make it known to me. I desire nothing but to fulfill God's desires. Lord, here are my soul and my body, my mind and my will, my heart and all my love. Rule me according to your eternal plans. After Holy Communion, my soul was again flooded with God's love. I rejoiced in his greatness. Here I see distinctly his will, which I am to carry out, and at the same time my own weakness and misery. I see how I can do nothing without his help. Second day of retreat. When I was about to go to the parlor to see Father Andres, I felt frightened because the secret is binding only in the confessional. This was a groundless fear. One word from Mother Superior set me at ease about it. Meanwhile, when I entered the chapel, I heard these words in my soul. I want you to be open and simple as a child with my representative, just as you are with me. Otherwise, I will leave you and will not commune with you. Truly, God gave me the great grace of complete confidence, and after the conversation, God granted me the grace of deep peace and light concerning these matters. Jesus, eternal light, enlighten my mind, strengthen my will, inflame my heart, and be with me as you have promised. For without you I am nothing. You know, Jesus, how weak I am. I do not need to tell you this, for you yourself know perfectly well how wretched I am. It is in you that all my strength lies. Confession Day. From early morning, the turmoil in my soul was more violent than anything I have ever experienced before. Complete abandonment by God. I felt the utter weakness that I was. Thoughts bore in upon me. Why should I leave this convent where I am loved by the sisters and superiors, where life is so tranquil, where I am bound by perpetual vows and carry out my duties without difficulty? Why should I listen to the voice of my conscience? Why follow an inspiration coming from who knows where? Wouldn't it be better to carry on like all the other sisters? Perhaps the Lord's words could be stifled, not taken heed of. Maybe God will not demand an account of them on the day of judgment. Where will this inner voice lead me? If I follow it, what tremendous difficulties, tribulations, and adversities are in store for me? I fear the future, and I am agonizing in the present. The suffering continued with the same intensity throughout the whole day. When, in the evening, my turn came for confession, I could not make a full confession, even though I had been preparing for a long time. I received absolution and left, not knowing what was going on within me. When I went to bed, the suffering grew even worse, or rather, it changed into a fire which penetrated all the faculties of my soul like lightning, piercing me to the marrow and to the most secret recesses of my heart. In the midst of this suffering, I was unable to bring myself to do anything. Your will be done, Lord. At times I could not even think these words. Truly, a deadly fear had taken hold of me, and the flames of hell were touching me. Toward morning, silence set in, and my tribulations disappeared in the twinkling of an eye. But I felt so frightfully exhausted that I could not even move. During my conversation with Mother Superior, my strength returned bit by bit, but God alone knows how I felt throughout that whole day. O eternal truth, Word incarnate, who most faithfully fulfilled your Father's will, today I am becoming a martyr of your inspirations, since I cannot carry them out because I have no will of my own, though interiorly I see your will clearly. I submit in everything to the will of my superiors and my confessor. I will follow your will insofar as you will permit me to do so through your representative. O my Jesus, it cannot be helped, but I give priority to the voice of the church over the voice with which you speak to me. So, Sister Faustina is really struggling here. If you remember back, she's been asked to start this new congregation, this congregation that is devoted to the Divine Mercy. And she's really struggling. And she's supposed to probably tell Father Andres this. And she's having all these doubts. And I mean, you read her kind of tortured thoughts right under where it says Confession Day. And she goes in and she has not the greatest confession. She doesn't even give a full one. And that just leaves her in more torment because she knows that she didn't do what she was supposed to do. And so, she just kind of has a fitful night and everything is not going well. She doesn't feel good about how she's responding. She doesn't feel good about the confession. She's got all these fears about what she's supposed to be doing and following God's will, and she is really, really struggling. And so when I was looking through all the thoughts in her head before her confession, it just made me think of all the thoughts that come into our heads when confession is presented as an option. There's always going to be something that seems to pop up that tries to derail us. And I think that confession is one of the sacraments that we are most hesitant to go and receive. For the most part, everybody loves baptism. Confirmation is always a happy time. When you receive the Eucharist, it's a happy time. Some people do stay away from the Eucharist and don't really fully go up and receive it. Some people feel so unworthy that they don't go up and receive it. But for the most part, most people want to go up and receive Christ. Marriage, obviously, is a very happy time. Holy orders is a very happy time. Anointing of the sick, yes, that's usually a sad time. However, we want the anointing of the sick because it's meant to strengthen us for, a good death. But confession is that one where it's like, what else do I have on my list of things to do? And we always find some reason, don't we? Oh, I don't really have any time to make it down to the church. Or when we walk in the church, oh gosh, long line. Maybe I'll catch it next time. Or I'm scared. I'm scared of what I'm going to say to the priest. Oh my gosh, he's going to know me and he's going to hear my voice and he's going to know that I was doing this particular sin and I don't want to say that to him. Or I'm too busy. Gosh, I'm a mom or I'm a dad and I've got kids and God understands if I can't get to confession right now. Man, when I get older, I'll go to confession all the time. Not right now. Life's just so busy. Or we have doubts. Why do I need to go to confession? I shouldn't have to go to confession. I should just be able to sit here in my house and tell God I'm sorry. Don't we all have those thoughts? I mean, if I'm the only one, then gosh, man, I just confessed a lot that you probably all are wondering, wow, should we be listening to Amy? But I don't believe that I'm probably the only one that has those thoughts. And honestly, what this is, it's the devil. And it's the world pressing in on us. The devil does not want us to go to confession, okay? Because he knows that our soul is going to be cleansed and then it's going to be filled with grace. And that is very displeasing to him, to say the least. And the world doesn't want us to go to confession because the world tells us that there's nothing that we have to confess. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to go in and tell a priest anything. So we have this thought that, it's not something I need. And we even tell ourselves, I'm a good person. I'm not like this guy over here. Oh my gosh, I heard about that guy. He needs to go to confession, but I can wait, right? And so there's all these things. There's all these doubts and temptations that come into our head that try to keep us from going to confession. And the thing is you know that confession is so good because the fight to get there is so hard. The devil tries so hard to keep us from going. So it must be so good. And so, I would just encourage you, whenever these doubts come up, whenever these temptations to not go, or you have all these thoughts like Sister Faustina, where she's like, maybe I should just follow my own path, or maybe I should just be like the sisters. Gosh, everything is good and cozy at the convent that I'm at. I don't want to go and start a new congregation and have all these trials and tribulations. Everything is just good here. Maybe I don't really have to listen to God's voice about this. Maybe it won't be brought up on Judgment Day. She's going through all these things. And this is such a human moment. Gosh, we can see here this saint having a moment that we all have. And that just makes her so very real to me and probably to you. And this is something that we all struggle with. And I think the best way to fight that is to tell somebody. Tell your spouse, tell your best friend if they're Catholic, even tell your kids. I'm having a lot of thoughts in my head right now about why I should not go to confession. And maybe they can help you go. And you're like, no, come on, we're going. I don't care if the line is long. I don't care if we're too busy. This is more important. So, kind of having an accountability partner of some sorts. But confession is a wonderful sacrament. They're all wonderful, but confession, man, that is where our soul gets cleansed. And don't stay away. Don't stay away for too long. So that is all for today. I will see you back here for day 115. And until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.